This former detective, Jack Tasker, was one of the first police officers to investigate Smith. He was convinced of his guilt.
He denied the sexual content and said to her, and he said, well, there might have been a little bit of chastisement for things he'd done wrong. When we asked him to explain that, he said, a smack.
From what you've said, either Cyril Smith was lying or the 8 victims at Cambridge House
were lying, yes. I didn't think they were lying.
Take Jack Tasker, a former detective in Rochdale whose senior officers told him to leave Smith alone.
Now, we're telling you now, and we're ordering you now, you don't do anything further in investigating Cyril Smith. You don't speak about it to anyone. You don't do anything at all. We're taking this investigation over.
What was your reaction to that?
Well, it was shock. It's never happened before.
Same again. That key word comes up. Breaching the Official Secrets Act.
The story of Coronation Buildings is not one of victims being ignored or disbelieved. This appears to be a case where police knew what was going on. They'd seen it with their own eyes, yet they were ordered to stop. If true, this is an open and shut case of a remarkable cover-up.
Is it there to work for the people or against the people? And at the moment, because there's no level of transparency or way of looking, it's hard to actually say. There are secrets that we probably shouldn't know as a population, but there's plenty that are going under this radar that surely we should know, because the fundamental fabric of our society is being governed by this.
The Official Secrets Act that was born in 1911 that mean that not only can we not investigate it, but nobody can ever be accountable. No one can ever talk about it.
What else are they holding under national security? The grooming scandal. When you work out and look at that, is that scandal being run at a much highly organised way than the average person can appreciate? So if you was to really peel back that onion, would you then discover that there's people in there that they belong to the highest echelons of society, that even if they're not partaking, they are helping and facilitating in the organisation of it all? I've no idea, it's just an opinion. Then if you was to discover that fact, would it then become a matter of national security or breaching the Official Secrets Act?
So you can't get whistleblowers, because the whistleblowers, by very nature, have got a threat of up to 14 years in prison, minimum, depending, plus fines, if they was to speak out. And that's only for one breach. If they decide to go all out, you know what'll happen.
If it's true that there are officers that want to come forward, but they feel inhibited by the Official Secrets Act, and if what the general information that appears to come from them is true, it is disgraceful. It is just wrong.
But yet, under the guise of the Official Secrets Act, what seems to be the most heinous crimes against human beings, against children, whether they be female or male. So I'm thinking to myself, yeah, let's keep going, let's keep exposing Rochdale, let's keep exposing Westminster, But we've got to put that in the mix. Does that question need to be asked now? What politician is not adhering to the Official Secrets Act at this moment in time? Theresa May, she'll be adhering to it.
Did you see last night's Newsnight broadcast?
But the Home Secretary's attempts at reassurance didn't sound that reassuring.
If people are giving evidence of child abuse to the Goddard inquiry or to the police, then I would not expect them I would hope that they would not be prosecuted and would, under the Official Secrets Act, would not expect them to be.
The immunity you're giving today, if we can say that by your statement, is just if those people give evidence, possibly to the very people who have told them not to give evidence.
Well, Chairman, I need to be very clear about this. I have said what I would hope would be the case and would expect to be the case.
Because that's the other element, that you soon find that if you have got a propensity to do heinous things against other human beings, they can protect you, but they want something in return. Look at all the decisions, the wrongful decisions that to the common sense working class proletariat, they do not make sense. You know, whether they be treaties that have been signed, laws that have been passed that are going against the people. We can't articulate without being branded, but yet it does not make sense. We all realise that. But it then makes me think, well, maybe some of these people that are signing these treaties that are just going along and not saying nothing, or just passing a vote, another piece of red tape that's going to work against the people, maybe they're compromised by the Official Secrets Act. Ted Heath. You could even tie in Brexit with this. Ted Heath, was he compromised because of the past he had?
A man has claimed he was raped by Sir Edward Heath when he was 12 years old, following an inquiry launch into the alleged cover-up of child sex allegations. The former Prime Minister is the highest profile figure to be embroiled in the historic abuse allegations.
Despite the odd female fan, Edward Heath was long the subject of speculation about his sex life. But now, far worse. At least 4 separate police forces are investigating several allegations of offences involving children. The latest being Kent, who said tonight they're looking into a complaint of sexual assault from the early 60s in the east of the county, around where Heath was born.
He was a known paedophile. Some say a Satanist. If he's gone under the Official Secrets Act, or if there was elements that were prepared to protect him and keep him quiet, but yet keep him in power, there's no such thing as a free lunch, is there?
I am satisfied that there were compelling and obvious reasons to investigate allegations made about Sir Edward Heath. As I've said, Sir Edward Heath was an extremely prominent, influential and high-profile person who was arguably one of the most powerful people in the world, commensurate with his public office he held. The allegations against him were of the utmost seriousness and from a significant number of people. I hope people will understand that given these circumstances, it would be an indefensible dereliction of my public duty as a Chief Constable not to have investigated such serious allegations against a former Prime Minister, even though he is deceased.
So surely he would have to do something to repay and keep repaying. It's like they say, once you succumb to a blackmailer, they're going to keep coming back for more and more.
You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be just fine. You'll see. It's not gonna let us leave. Cheryl was right. We're all gonna die here. No, we're not gonna die. We're all gonna die. All of us. We're not gonna die. We're not gonna die. We're gonna get out of here.
By that, I don't mean every politician, But you've got different levels of complicity, you've got different levels of people who are adhering to the Official Secrets Act or national security, which is another one. Jimmy Savile, national security. Why? Maybe why? Because if we were to scratch deep enough within the Jimmy Saviles, within all the other rogue celebrities that have now outed themselves as the most heinous individuals, alongside them would be more respectable, higher echelon individuals going through many spans of different agencies, different forces, that cannot come out, which then would highlight positions in the judiciary, positions within Westminster, that can't come out.
Lifting the threat of prosecution under the Official Secrets Act may encourage some officers to come forward, but for others it's going to be much more complicated than that. Some simply won't believe the assurances. Others may fear that it somehow looks like they were complicit in wrongdoing. And after such a long time, the temptation will be to let sleeping dogs lie. It's becoming increasingly clear it will take more than the stories of survivors for the full picture of historic child abuse to emerge. It will require the detectives who were forced to keep quiet to break their silence too.
If that was to come out, it would blow the doors wide open on everything. The population would duly want blood for this. So you would be looking at a revolt. Now, that to me is the national security that they are thinking of. In other words, put shortly, they're protecting their own arses. Is it time that we look at the Official Secrets Act, national security, look at why it was meant to be there, but asking the full question, are people abusing that, which is having a dramatic effect on the population of the country and globally?
So the police file for all its detail and conviction was marked NFA, no further action, not in the public interest.
This is Red Pill Phil. I love you all, even the pissing haters.